Welcome, business owners from North Texas. This is Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. I'm Michael D. Rubin, CEO and founder of MDR Associates in the studio. And guess who we have back? We've got Jenny on the block, back from a 17-day trip to Europe, all over Europe.
Back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back, although I already miss Europe.
You do?
I do.
17 days, wasn't that a little long?
It was a little long, but now that I'm back and rested, I'm ready to go again.
We're going to cover her adventures in the next segment of the show. But welcome back, Jenny. She's our Chief Financial Officer at MDR Associates. Folks, we've been doing this show this is our 19th week. We're a little over 4.5 months on the radio here at WBAP, and we're so thankful. If you're a business owner, this segment, this next hour is for you. And let me tell you some statistics right on the top of the show that are just so startling. If you're a business owner in Texas, you're driving around, and you're wondering, can I ever sell this thing? This show is called Sell Your Company for what value?
Maximum value.
Maximum
That's right.
value.
Not minimum, not average.
No, we get more money at MDR Associates. We do it confidentially. We have a 10-step unique process we're going to cover here in this segment in just a second. But before we get going, here are the statistics about business owners in the United States. Here we go. Specifically, baby boomers, that incredible, hardworking generation. If you're a baby boomer, listen up. There's 77 million of you in the United States, and you guys own 40% of all small businesses in America. And that represents, here's the startling one, $10 trillion of company value. That's right, $10 trillion of company value. I don't even know, Jenny, you're our CFO. You deal with numbers every day. I don't even know what – I can't get my head around 10 trillion.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, it's a lot of zeros.
It's a lot of zeros.
Right? Doesn't it go a million, billion, trillion?
Yeah, but let's just say you're running a company you think is worth 500,000, a million, 3 million, 7 million, 10 million. We focus on companies that have revenues 1 million to 100 million. The sell price is generally 1 to 30 million. That's the area we play in. We play in the manufacturing, distribution, and service industries the most. And we've closed 230 companies in the last 15, 16 years. And here we are in 2024. Should we talk about why it's such a great time to sell?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure people are kind of asking that question because it is an election year. We have got high interest rates, all that good stuff. So, yeah, tell them why it's good to sell. It's
a great time to sell because COVID is beyond us. In 2020, we had a worldwide disruption. That meant a supply chain disruption. Companies, businesses went out of business. Restaurants, massage clinics, retail, places went out of business. I don't know what this percentage is, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was 20% or 25% of all businesses on the streets went out of business. We're beyond COVID now. Every business owner listening, I'm talking to you directly. If you're a business owner here in Texas, you went through some pain. I know we did at MDR Associates. We didn't close anything from March 2020 to September 2020. That's 6 months of zeros.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I owned a small business. I owned a franchise at that time, and we completely shut down.
Yes, it's a brutal time to be in business. Well, guess what? That wore on business owners.
Yeah.
I had to reinvent our business with the 4K video, bringing you on as our CFO, Jenny, taking it down to a small, profitable model. I'm sure you have too. So if you're a business owner and you made it through COVID, kudos to you. You're still around. You still exist. Now the question is, when's the perfect time to sell? Right? When is the perfect time to sell? I wrote a book last summer called Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. I give it away on the show for free right now. If you'd like a copy of my book I wrote last summer, Sell Your Company for Maximum Value, I'd like you to hit my personal cell phone. I'm going to give you my personal cell phone. Give me your name, your business type. I'll get you a signed copy of the book. We'll have an intro call. We'll give you a complimentary value over the phone. We'll do a discovery meeting if necessary. So here's my cell phone directly to my hip. Personal cell phone, 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. I want to personally invite you to connect with me, founder to founder, and we'll have a confidential discussion, get you a free copy of the book. Back to the book. What 3 chapters, Jenny, would you want to discuss, just touch on right now in the beginning of this hour? What do you want to talk on? Which 3 chapters?
So before we do that, let's go back just for a second and finish the thought about why it's now a great time to sell. We talked about the lockdowns and the pandemic, but now why now?
Right. Now, after COVID, if you survived, right, now is a great time because interest rates are coming down with the SBA, so buyers are more likely to come out and buy. Multiples we've sold for this year already. Multiples are at sky-high numbers. I mean, there's been a lot of pent-up demand with buy. Think pent-up demand. They didn't get to buy anything in 2020, 2021. They have investors that have to put that money to work, whether it be individual investor, private equity, or family office, depending on how big you are. So now is a great time as a seller. It's a real seller's market in the business for sale world.
Mm-hmm. And by multiples, you mean?
Multiple means a multiple of your net income plus add backs. And we can get into that later, but essentially we will look at your financials and give you a free valuation. Matter of fact, I'd like to say we're the new home of the free valuation. We are. Home of the free valuation. If you want to, because you don't know if you want to sell.
Right, until you know what you're worth.
So for me, it's like, I think that could be our new thing is, we're going to give you I call it a value snapshot. It's a one-page valuation. We're going to be the home of the free valuation. If you want a valuation, if you're interested in knowing what you're worth, because you couldn't possibly know if you want to sell, even if you're at retirement age, until you know what it's worth. So the first step is connecting with a professional M&A firm. We're 16 years old. We know exactly what you're worth. We have software we can run the thing through, and we can show you over the phone or in a discovery meeting what you're worth. That's the key, figuring out what you're worth. But before we go into that, let's touch on three chapters of the book from last week so they know a little bit about the book, and then I'll make the offer to get the book to the first three callers.
Okay,
in just a little bit.
So the first chapter that kind of has a lot of meat to it, and that's a good one to talk about, is timing is everything. So what does that mean exactly?
Yep, that's the second chapter of the book. Timing is everything, meaning there's really two timing things that need to be in line for you to sell your company for maximum value or sell it at all. Number one, timing of the market. Mm-hmm. And timing of the market, we just talked about that. It's a very great time to sell in 2024. So there's really three: the timing of the market, the timing of your financials. You need 3 years of clean financials in order for us to bring the company to market, to do our analysis, to come up with a snapshot valuation for you, to tell you where the strike zone is from low to high, where we think your company is going to sell.
And by clean, you mean staying the same or increasing?
From clean, I mean business expenses are business expenses.
Okay.
And personal expenses are personal expenses.
But if it's not like that, it's okay. We can help.
Absolutely. That's why you're here as CFO. Jenny on the Block here is incredible at
Jenny on the Block.
Jenny on the Block.
We need the music.
That's right. Jenny on the Block is incredible at figuring out where those add backs are to get to our SDE or EBITDA. We can discuss that a little bit later in the show. But it essentially means your net plus personal add backs. What would a new owner benefit from with your net income plus wherever they're living out of the business? There's a number there, and every business is sold of a multiple of that number.
I like to call it, I think the way people really can understand it is it's a proxy for cash flow. It's the cash flow that's being thrown off the business that you can pay your debt with, you can pay yourself with.
Correct. And so, timing of the industry, of the environment needs to be right. Timing of your financials. You need 3 years, like you're about to say, of steady or gently increasing growth.
Exponential is good too, though.
Exponential is good. It's a hockey stick. It's hard for us to value.
Yeah, that's right.
10 to 15%, 20% growth a year. If you've got growth year over year, 5, 10, or even if they're steady, if it's just completely just flatline steady, it's a great time to sell. Third thing, and this is really, really critical. We made a joke of it, Todd Hutchinson and I did last neek. When are you ready? You never know if you're ready. Are you really ready? Emotionally, you have to be ready.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We struggle. I see the struggle with this. It's real.
Mm-hmm.
We've done over 2,000 to 3,000 discovery meetings with business owners, and every one of those, they're never really, really, really ready to let their baby go.
Well, their whole identity is wrapped up in this thing they've built.
Think about
and
it,
it's
guys.
hard to let go.
Yeah, if you're a business owner and you're listening to this show, what you do is who you are. It's like Jenny said. It's your identity. It's hard to let that go. It's really hard to let that. It's actually hard to visualize what else would you do.
Right. Well, and if you're living a comfortable lifestyle, it's hard to think about it could be even better once you sell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, second time I'm going to offer it. The first 3 callers to hit my cell phone right now are going to get a complimentary copy of the book. Timing is Everything is a key chapter to figure out if you're really, really ready. My personal and direct cell phone right now, give me your name, your business type, is 469-995-6060. 469-995-6060. Call or text me. Let's talk founder to founder. Jenny, what other chapter of the book you want to touch on?
So another chapter that we have a lot of meat on that's really good is Put Your Buyer Hat On.
Yeah, put your buyer hat on is really a chapter where visualize taking your seller hat off of you. As sellers, we want the highest number possible. It might be realistic. It might not. We're not really concerned about customers and how many we have and if one's a really big customer. We're not concerned if management's in place. We're not really that concerned how clean our operation is. But if you take your seller hat off and you put the professional buyer hat on, so you're not the seller anymore, you're the buyer, we go over the 15 ways to increase the value of your business. Think about how valuable that is.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I can take my business from $3 million to $5 million just by reading the book? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The 15 levers that increase value are in the book, 15 of them. One of them is management in place. One of them is customer concentration. One of them is how clean is your facility. So those are 3 of the 15. This is one of those things where I'm trying to get the resources to the business owner so they can make the best decision for themselves and their family. You know, this is a good spot to talk about the heart of MDR Associates. We don't want to get involved in a deal at all. 0. We don't want to be involved unless it blesses you as the seller. We can retire you gracefully, and it blesses the buyer. It's got to be a win for the seller, win for the buyer, and a win for the kingdom of God. We're a Christian firm. That just means we're high integrity, high confidentiality, and high transparency at all times. At all times. High confidentiality, high transparency, and high integrity at all times, no matter what. We do the right thing even when it hurts. So if you'd like to connect with us, get a free copy of the book, hit me on my cell phone at 469, first 3 callers, or text me or call me at 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060.
So maybe tell them a little bit about what you do with that call, that text. What you call them up and what happens.
Yeah, we make all our calls every week. I say it right after. That's a good point. We make all our calls tomorrow on Monday from 10 a.m. to 12. We have a 5 to 10 minute quick intro call. See if we can bless you. See if we can serve you. See if we can give you a value. Again, we're the home of the free valuation. So you laugh about that.
It feels like a billboard.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good because people don't know if they want to sell until they know how much they're worth. And so I don't know that a lot of people are doing one-page snapshot valuations, but you need to know what you're worth. You have to know based on the industry, based on the multiple, based on your financials, what you're worth. And the way this is going to work is they're going to send us their financials, and we're going to send them back a value.
Right.
They don't even need to come in.
Yeah. And
so that's the home of the free valuation. That's what we're talking about. Other firms, by the way, charge, now they're 100 pages, but they charge $7,500 to $50,000 for these valuations.
Right.
We're going to do a one-page quick shot of their through some software that we bought, some online cloud-based software that taken so really because you don't know if you want to sell till you know how much you're worth. And so a lot of people struggle with they're never going to sell because they don't know what they're worth. Let's figure that out. Let's figure out what your business is worth in the market to a financial buyer or a strategic buyer.
Perfect.
So
sounds good.
That is that's put your buyer hat on. It's one of the 14 chapters of an easy to read book. It's only 110 pages, the book.
Yeah.
It's very easy to read.
Right. You know, another chapter that's probably good to talk about today is our unique process. You know, how do we help? What do we do?
Yeah, that's unique. You know, we're so different than other M&A firms in that we take bringing your company to market. First of all, we only take 12 to 15 engagements a year.
Right.
And we sell 10 to 12 of them.
Right.
That's our philosophy. We already have 8. So we're right now looking for another 3 to 5 engagements through the end of the year. We can't take more than that.
Right.
So we're a small, profitable, high touch, founder led M&A firm. It's a lot like a sports agent representing an athlete. I say that every week on the radio, but it really is. We're all in for 10 or 15 business owners. We sell 90% of every company we list. I'll say that again. The industry statistic is 20%. We sell 90% of everything we list for maximum value. And so, so our unique process, there's really some key things to our process. It's on our website. If you want to go to our website, it's sellmycompanynow.com. www.sellmycompanynow.com. On the website, click our unique process. It's 10 steps. If you really want to get drilled down on it, that's the way to do it. But let's touch on it. First thing we do is we care about your goals. Your goals are our goals. We do a discovery meeting for an hour and a half at our corporate office in Frisco. We hear your story. We listen to you. We design a perfect exit strategy. Second thing we do is we get your financials. We give you that one-page snapshot valuation. And so we know what it's worth. We have to know what it's worth before we bring it to market. We accumulate all the financials. Jenny does a great job of doing that, looking through them, validating them. You're so good at it. Her financial IQ, MBA from SMU. Your background's incredibly impressive. We do that.
Thank you.
Yep. And we do that, and then we bring that. We list the company. Well, before that, we do the HD 4K video, which only 3 to 5 firms that I know in the country do that.
And they're
in the
awesome.
United States.
They are amazing.
Amazing. I mean, you're talking about, and don't worry about it. Tom Lociato, our VP of Video Production, does a great job of getting you ready for that video shoot, does a drone footage of the facility. You're going to talk on camera. We're going to have 20 questions ready. He just does a bunch of B-roll, and it comes out to an amazing 3-minute video. So with the marketing package that you do, Jenny, and the video, we're gonna take a break here in about 60 seconds. We'll come back and talk a little bit more to finish up our unique process. But we're getting comments from buyers that we package it better than anybody that they've seen, any other firm that they've seen. And so with your marketing package, the video, we have a great presentation. One of our video testimonials is from Joe Peterson. We just closed his deal. Landscape company in Fort Worth, 40 years old. And it's on our website, sellmycompanynow.com. One last time, if you're a business owner, you want a free copy of the book that I'm describing that goes over the timing, it goes over the how to increase value, put your buyer ad on, and goes over our unique process. If you'd like a free copy of a signed copy, hit me on my cell phone right now. Give me your name, business type at 469-995-6060. 469-995-6060. Jenny, we're going to take a quick break.
Sounds good.
And we'll be right back with more of Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. All right, business owners, welcome back to Sell Your Company for Maximum Value with Michael D. Rubin, the CEO and founder of MDR Associates. And we have Jenny back from a 17-day trip from Europe.
Yes.
Our Chief Financial Officer.
That's right. Still recovering from jet lag. I go to bed at 9 and I wake up at 4 in the morning still.
Tell us. All right, so we're going to take a second here. We want to hear about this. Give us a couple minutes of high level. How did a 17-day trip with your husband?
18-year-old son, 18 and 16-year-old.
So 18-year-old, 16-year-old, and husband for 17 days in Europe.
That's right.
Take us through real quick. Hit some highlights of what happened. What happened?
Well, we started in Paris, 4 days in Paris. So that was amazing. We averaged about 20,000 steps a day. I think for me, the highlight of Paris was I made it to the Louis Vuitton store.
Ooh.
I'm going to say this wrong.
Female CEO business owners, listen up.
If there's any French people that speak French, I'm very sorry. I'm going to butcher this, but it's the Champs-Élysées, which is the high-end shopping area.
Sounds so sophisticated.
So I went through the whole looking at bags and all that good stuff and brought myself home a Louis Vuitton bag.
In 18, Christy and I went. Isn't it like 7 levels at Louis Vuitton store? It's amazing.
It's 4 or 5, yeah, and it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, it was.
I had champagne at every level.
Experience.
I don't remember how many levels when I got to the top.
You were done. I don't know.
In 18, we went. Yeah. Then where'd you go?
So then we went from there over to Italy and spent the 13 days in Italy. We started in Venice, then went to Lake Como.
Nice.
Yeah, Lake Como. Lake Como. You left it. You already know this story, but I think it's a funny story. Lake Como is where I walked through an Italian couple's wedding.
What?
I did.
You walked through a wedding?
I did. Yes, we were following this green belt, which is called Greenbelt Lago di Como, and we were following the green belt, and there was a bride and a groom. The bride looked to be kind of hiding behind a tree. I just assumed they were taking pictures because there were people standing around, but they had all these sacks and all kinds of stuff. So long story short, I continued walking because I was
went right down the procession. You went right down the middle.
I did. I did. So this one lady who looked to be maybe like the wedding planner was motioning me to get off, get away.
Oh, my goodness.
I just waved at her and kept going. I did.
And you were telling me your husband kind of made her, he saw ahead of time, he was going around the wedding.
And he also said, Jenny, you're walking through the middle of the wedding. And I ignored him. So, yeah, so we walked through. She was motioning for me to leave. And then as soon as we finished walking, the actual processional music
Unbelievable.
started. So
Unbelievable.
All the guests were up on a veranda, so I don't think they saw what was going on. But I did interrupt a wedding.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. It's funny as can be.
Yeah.
You know, you hit Venice, right? And then you also went to the – where else did you go? Venice?
So Venice, Lake Como, the Cinque Terre, which is 5 towns. It's along the Italian Riviera.
Unreal.
And then we dropped down to Florence.
Florence.
And then Assisi, where
where's that kind of Tuscany? area?
Umbria, which is kind of like Tuscany. Yep. And then Rome. We finished in Rome.
And then you did some kind of bicycles in Rome or
scooters,
e-bikes? Scooters.
Electric scooters. If anyone's ever seen the traffic in Rome, it's crazy.
And it was hot. It was like 95 degrees in Rome, right?
It was 95 degrees, lots of traffic, and here we were scootering on the streets with the Italians. But you know what? They're great drivers. They're so much better.
They're better than Texas drivers.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's drivers in the U.S. in general.
Yeah.
It's gotten worse over time.
Yep, exactly.
All right, we've got 1 minute left. We talked about later in the show. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about our heart. We're gonna finish the discussion on our unique process because I think it's really important. But right now, if you're a business owner, back to sell your company for maximum value. If you're a business owner, female business owner probably was listening to your Louis Vuitton. The guys are like, "What?
I know.
Louis Vuitton?
Yeah,
what's
like,
that?
Oh,
no, we don't want to do that. It's high-end bags. We don't even understand it."
Every female business owner knows that.
Every female business owners. But for the male business owners out there that you guys are listening, if you'd like a free copy, signed copy of the book, you want to connect with an M&A firm, the home of the free business valuation, call us or text me directly on my personal cell phone at 469-995-6060. 469-995-6060. I'll get you a signed copy of the book. We'll have an intro call. I make those calls tomorrow on Monday from 10 a.m. to 12. And we'll just have a quick call, get to know each other, and see if we need to go into a full-blown discovery meeting at our firm. And when we come back from this break, we're going to discuss the anatomy of a discovery meeting. What can you expect when you meet with MDR Associates at our office in Frisco, Texas? We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more of Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. Business owners in Texas, listen up. This is Michael D. Rubin from MDR Associates, and this is Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. We're back with Jenny in the studio, fresh from Europe. Ooh. She's back with me. I'm so glad to have her here. I really am glad that you're back.
Well, thank you.
Loved having Todd Hutchinson. Having Todd Hutchinson the last 3 weeks, our VP of Exit Strategy, but our CFO, Jenny on the block, back in the studio to talk about the financial aspects.
And you know what? I'm rested. And I'm ready to go.
She's rested and ready to roll. You own a company in Texas right out of the gate, and you'd like to get a free copy of the book I wrote last summer, Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. Right now, the first 3 people to text or call me on my direct personal cell phone. Get your pens ready. Get your phones ready. Here's the number. My number is 469-995-6060. 469-995-6060. Text or call me. Give me your name, your business type. I'll give you a call, 5 to 10 minute intro call on Monday, tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 12. All right.
Okay, so I know that there's probably people that are listening to this and not really thinking that they're going to do anything with this. So I think that what we should do is let's take it back to the beginning of these episodes and talk about all that's gone on, maybe kind of drive some excitement for people who haven't called in, who haven't texted.
Yeah,
this is what can happen.
Yeah, let's recap the facts. So we started like March 10th here at WBAP with a radio show for the business owner in Texas. We only sell businesses in Texas, revenues of 1 to 100 million. We've been doing it 16 years. We did this because there's no information out there on how to sell your company, much less at all.
Right.
Much less for maximum value. There's no information on, a lot of information on it. There's a lot of realtor, a lot of ways to describe how to sell your house for maximum value. A lot of real estate shows, even on this channel. But there's not one on any channel I know. I think there's one other one I know that it's very limited information on how do you sell your company. What's the process? How do I evaluate a firm? How do I choose a firm? What are the fees? Last week, you don't know about this. We went into the fees. Our fees versus everyone else's fees.
Interesting.
What's the typical fee for selling a company? So this show is all about the business owner, educating you guys so you can make an educated decision. Here's what's happened. Since March 10th, we're in the 19th week of doing the show, Jenny. We've had 46 inquiries. We've met with 15 companies personally. I've talked with all 45 over the phone. 15 have come in for a discovery meeting, which we're going to describe in just a second on what goes on in an hour and a half, 2 hour discovery meeting at our firm. And we've listed 4 companies, and we've sold 3 of them already.
Yeah.
One closed, second one's closing in 2 days, small garage door service company. Well, the one before that was a partner buyout. The next one's going to be a plant service company. That's going to be in 45 days. These range anywhere between $500,000 in size all the way up to a couple million. And so they're smaller deals. We focus on companies that are 1 to 30 million in company value or 1 to 100 million in revenue. So, again, 45 leads. We've talked to every one of those business owners. We gave them the home of the free business evaluation. If they'd like to talk value, we talk value. If they'd like to send us their financials for a free snapshot, one-page valuation, we'll do that because you don't know if you want to sell them to you, how much you're worth. And so the discussion's real. Over the phone, it's an intro call. When I make my calls Monday after the show is over of the people that have texted me for the free book, we make sure we get them the book and come by. They can introduce themselves, grab a free copy of the book. But what also happens is sometimes they come in and they're ready to sell or they're close to ready, and they come in for a discovery meeting, right?
Right.
And let's talk about what a discovery meeting looks like.
Okay.
You've been in a few of those.
I have.
And how would you describe it? And then I'm going to describe it.
Well, they usually take anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half, I would say. And you just are asking them questions. You ask them their background, how they got started, how their business was built, what's going on in their business, what challenges they have, what wins they have. And you just kind of get to know them.
That's it. We want to get to know you, see if it's a fit for you and a fit for us. We touched on this last week and the week before with Todd Hutchinson. We select 1 out of 4 to call clients. They have to select us. We have to select them. So a good listing for us, let's just go over that. It's profitable. It's trackable, meaning you have a bookkeeper or a third-party accounting firm. So it's trackable. It's profitable, trackable. You're highly motivated. You're at that point of you're not thinking maybe I want to sell. You're ready to sell, or you're close to ready to sell.
Right.
Definitively ready to sell. And we like them, and they like us.
Right.
Those are the 4 things we look for: profitable, trackable, highly motivated, and we like each other. We're a Christian value firm. We're going to bless you, or we don't want to be involved. I like to say we're a Matthew 6:33 firm. We're going to seek the kingdom first and his righteousness, and everything will be added. So that drives us in the first meeting to see if it's a fit as a client, give you the right information to all the levers we talked about. We're going to coach you into increasing value. We're going to sign an NDA if you'd like us to, look at your financials, and give you that snapshot one-page valuation coming back at you. So that's what we do.
Right.
That's what we do. We get to know our business owners. I would say the Lord highlights to me who's supposed to be a client and who's not supposed to be a client almost in the first 5 to 10 minutes.
Right. And sometimes they come back around if they're not ready to sell yet. So there's also some conversation.
Oh, absolutely. We don't care if they sell next week with us, sign a listing the first meeting, which happens a lot of the time because they're comfortable, we're comfortable, we check all the boxes. But it doesn't matter if they want to sell 6, 12, 18, 24 months or even 5 years later. We want to bless them.
Right.
We want to arm them with information. That's why I wrote the book.
Right.
I wrote the book for the business owner that's driving around thinking, how the heck do I sell my largest asset? Last week we talked about it. If your net worth is $2 million, it's likely your business is $1.5 million of that net worth.
Right.
Does that sound significant? I mean, you know numbers. 75% of someone's net worth.
Right.
Picking the right person seems critical.
Yeah,
Picking
for sure.
the right firm.
And not doing it yourself. Don't go it alone.
Well, that's a chapter of the book.
I know.
Don't do it alone. Chapter 3, it's a warning chapter.
Yeah.
Don't do it alone. If this makes sense to you, you're driving around, you want to connect with us. Connect with me personally, founder to founder, confidentially. I'll give you a free signed copy of the book, and we might just do that discovery call, and it might lead to a discovery meeting. Direct to my hip now. I'm going to give you my phone number. Again, get your pen and get your phone out, and text or call me at 469-995-6060. 469-995-6060. I'm Michael D. Rubin with MDR Associates. We're in the studio with Jenny Swain, our Chief Financial Officer, fresh back from Europe, and she seems fresh. She seems ready to go. You seem ready to go.
I know. I hadn't had a vacation in a year.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hadn't really been anywhere in a year because we were saving for this big, huge trip. And so getting away, and it put a lot of perspective on a lot of things, but I feel good right now. And I'm trying to hold on to that, right? Trying to hold on to that good feeling.
I think as business owners, we get overwhelmed. I think you're a business 100%. Owner. You're kind of overwhelmed with all the things you had to do, plus the tennis and the captain and the clients. And you had a lot on your plate.
And the family. I had a graduating senior.
I think you just shared with me, you cleared some things off your plate.
I did.
That is awesome.
I did.
As a business owner, maybe you're a business owner driving around and you need to clear some things off your plate. Maybe it's your business you need to clean off your plate.
We can help with that.
We can help with that. We sell companies for maximum value. If you got employee issues and you got things going on and you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired, you'd like to have a discussion, my name's Michael D. Rubin with MDR Associates. We've been around 16 years. We've closed 230 companies. I'm going to give you my cell one last time before the break. We got to take a break here in 20 seconds. So get your pens out, get your phones out, text or call. The first 3 people to text or call me get a free complimentary signed copy of the book, and we can connect founder to founder. Here's my cell phone, 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. If you're a business owner in Texas, I just want to thank you for tuning in every week for the last 19 weeks. It's been a blast with Jenny, and the last few weeks with Todd Hutchinson. We're going to take a quick break, folks. We'll be back to conclude our show. Stick with us. We're going to talk about a little bit. We're going to go a little deeper on what your company is worth when we come back with Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. Welcome back, business owners, to Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. It's our last segment. It's about 10 minutes. We're going to talk about timing again. We're going to go into it a little bit because of the 45 business owners I've spoken to over the last 18 weeks, Jenny, I've seen some trends. I'm sure you have. Tell me about it. What kind of trends have you seen? Well, I mean, first of all, the companies that are stable, like we talked about earlier in the program, or growing slightly, that are highly motivated, we've listed and sold those companies. Right. And, that's 4 out of 42, 43 different people that contacted me. And of the ones that are ready to sell, probably 10 were ready. We select 1 out of 4, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 5. Mm-hmm. And so the trends that I've seen, the worst trend that I've seen is a business owner waiting too long to even get the one-page valuation, to have a discussion. Discussion's free, I always say in this program. They waited too long, and now there's no value on their business. Well, it's counterintuitive, right? Because when your business is going well, you're happy, and you don't think about selling. But as soon as things happen, manager leaves, got a big problem, have some sort of bad audit, whatever, then all of a sudden you're done and you're ready to go, but can't do it. That's right, and it's counterintuitive because when you think, oh, wait, my number one, my general manager just left, my key employee, it's the worst time to sell. Right. That's the absolute worst time to sell. Mm-hmm. When you've had 3 declining years, absolute worst time to sell. Yep. Right. There's nothing to sell except maybe real estate value. Right. Talked to this morning. Gentleman owns 5 or 6 cabins. Did really well during COVID. 100% occupancy. Now he's 60%. Mm-hmm. Profitable, but barely. Yeah. Real estate value only. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, I've talked to probably 10 to 15 of the 45. That's a third of the business owners I've contacted. Right. That did not have a business left when I contacted them. Yep. They have to change their way of thinking. You want to go out on a high. They were in their lower 70s to lower 80s. Mm-hmm. They did. I'm going to say it again. If you're listening and you're a business owner, you have a successful business, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years old in Dallas, don't wait till you're not paying attention to the business anymore. At a wedding venue, I was in Cabo San Lucas in the airport talking to a gentleman who owned a wedding venue, 82 years old. I said, when's the last wedding you had? He said, 2 years ago. Yeah. There's no revenue coming in. Right. There's nothing to sell. Yep. It's just a real estate deal. It's just a real estate, maybe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, real estate only. You don't want that. If you built something for 50 years, you want real estate value only, or you want some business value out of it? I'm telling you, if you're a business owner, you're driving around, this makes sense to you. You're in your mid-60s, late 60s, early 70s, mid-70s, or even 80s, and you've had a company for that long, you want to maximize the sale before it's too late. Hit me on my direct cell phone right now for a complimentary call and a free copy, a signed copy of the book, Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. Here's my cell phone. Get your pens and your phone ready. It's 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. Give me your name, your business type, and I'll make those calls tomorrow on Monday, typically from 10 a.m. to 12. And I think, too, you should talk a little bit about how just because you're selling your business doesn't necessarily mean you have to leave your business. There could be options for you to stay. That's great. The last 3 weeks, Todd Hutchinson and I talked about there's 1,000 ways to exit. You're thinking, oh, I'm going to sell it. I'm out that day. Here's your keys. See you later. That's not how it works. That's not how it almost ever works. Joe Peterson of Peterson Landscaping only stayed 30 days. Very unusual, but typically it's 3, 6, 9, 12 months. You're still involved. We're doing a $10 million transaction where the buyer wants our seller to stay 3 years, and he's happy to stay. His son works in the business. It's a family business. He's critical. If you're critical in your business, take your seller hat off, put your buyer hat on. If you're the business, the only way you can sell is sell the business and you stay on as CEO for 1 to 2 years. I say it over and over in discovery meetings. Mm-hmm. If you're the key to the business. Right. If you have other people, you have salespeople, you have managers, you have a general manager, you can leave within 30 days. 30 days included in the sale of the business, and then I negotiate your consulting agreement going forward. Great point.
Yep.
It's not just see your keys, see you later. A lot of times nothing will change. You'll just take a bunch of chips off the table before it's too late.
Right. I always like it when you cast vision. So why don't you cast some vision on what it could be like to be out of this business?
Gosh, let's dream a little bit. If you're driving, do not close your eyes right now.
Please don't.
Do not close your eyes as I go through this vision casting.
We Texans are not that good of drivers.
Well, I'm good anyway. But listen, if you're a business owner, imagine closing your eyes and imagine a world where the rent, the payroll, cost of goods, vendor relationships, hiring and firing is not your concern anymore. Imagine a situation where those hobbies on the back burner, I don't count painting, golfing, traveling with wife and kids and grandkids, just living life. How about fishing with a fishing pole and a boat in the middle of a lake on a morning where the lake's glass? And you don't have a worry of the world. You don't have to do 2-week payroll. You're not thinking about the biggest client, how you're going to satisfy them. You're not thinking about how you drive top-line revenue of your company anymore. You're thinking about which grandkid needs your support at the time. You're thinking about, how do I lean into my marriage of 43 years? If you're a business owner and you're in that situation, especially baby boomers. I've done 15 Fox radio interviews about baby boomers. They say I'm an expert on baby boomers. I don't know about that. But I sure think you guys are superheroes building companies in Texas here for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. If this makes sense to you, you're driving around thinking, I just would love to slow down, smell the roses. The first chapter of the book is called Stop Making the Donuts. That just means stop doing the stuff I just described. If that makes sense to you, you'd like to connect with me, hit me on my personal cell phone at 469-995-6060. I'll give you a free copy of the book. First 3 callers, or texting me your name, your business type at 469-995-6060. Jenny, that was a great question. And that's a great thing to do, is to talk about them and where they're going to be. But you know what I'd like to talk about to end the segment, end the show today, is why? What's our heart? What's the function that we play? Here's the function we play. We listen to you in the discovery meeting. We hear your personal goals and objectives. Our goals are your goals. We have no other goals. We design a perfect exit strategy, and the championship deal team with Jenny, myself, Todd Hutchinson, Vanessa Kreitz, Tom Luciata, we move into action on your behalf. We package it to the best of our ability, which we've heard is best in industry. We go to the market and find the perfect buyer to take over the generational legacy of your business, keep everything intact, get you out in God's perfect timing, whether that be 1 month, 3, 6, 9, or 12 months. And we meet you at a celebration dinner at Bob's Chop House, tip a wine glass to you, and then life begins. Life begins after that. Making the donuts is not that interesting, Jenny. I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. I love getting maximum value for business owners. I love reaching their goals and objectives and retiring them gracefully. But making the donuts versus hanging out with my grandkids on Saturday, no comparison.
Nope, that's right.
No comparison.
Exactly.
We're all about faith and family at MDR Associates. If that's you, hit me on my personal cell phone at 469-995-6060. 469-995-6060. And I'll get right back to you on Monday, give you a free signed copy of the book. Until next week, North Texas, and especially those baby boomers, be blessed.